All right, Nick, Amaze Insights. Past few months, I've been talking to a lot of chief commercial officers, heads of commercial strategy, and they all have the same problem. Data. Data is everywhere, trying to get their hands around data. How do they aggregate it? What to do with it when they get it? And it seems like maybe you guys are going after that problem. What problem has Amaze gone after?
So thank you for that, Jason. And when I was trying to figure out what to do next, I went to an industry leader who also happens to be my older brother, Lee Horgan, who is the former CEO of Amadeus Hospitality and the current CRO at Uniguest. And it was one of those things where I just really wanted to know how I should be spending my time, what is most important. And what Lee kept coming back to is data. So data is the most important thing. So his advice was, he said, you go and find the smartest people in the industry that really understand this and either buy or build, and you create a solution that helps people better manage data. So as I was doing this and researching, I was talking to another really good friend of mine who's another advisor, Ford Blakely, who the two of us have wanted to do something together for quite some time. He's the former CEO and founder of Zingle. So as we're talking about it, we were looking at various companies and people that are in the space, and everything kept coming back to data. And the data that I understand extremely well is the sales and catering data, because I had spent about 25 years on that side. So I'm talking to Ford, I'm talking to Lee, and then Lee says, what you should do is you should get the smartest person. So Jamie Job, who has a really good consulting company, Jamie Job Consulting. And he said, just buy her consulting company and then have her create a data platform that brings all of this together. So I'm doing a little bit of digging, and then I reach out to her and she shares with me, well, I've partnered with Mike Kenny, who's someone I also had worked with at Newmarket and Amadeus. And with Sinesta, we just built this platform. And she then proceeds to show me the exact thing that I was looking for and wanting to build. And she and Mike had literally built the platform that we were looking for. And so as we're just doing a little more due diligence, we shared it with some of the senior executives from Aimbridge. And before that call, we had said, this is not necessarily something that would fit for Aimbridge because they obviously have the resources. They could do something like this themselves. And as they're looking at it, they said, actually, we have been working on something on our own, but we don't have anything close to this. And not only do we like this, but we would actually like to do it. So we worked together, and then Aimbridge did actually sign on with Amaze. And what Amaze Insights is a platform that brings together sales and catering data from all of the different sales and catering systems, and then serves it up in a single pane of glass view to really understand the insights and details that you need in order to better grow your sales and catering business and really deliver the key insights that allow you to grow and scale. So that was a little over a year ago. And I think we all on the Amaze Insights team thought it would be successful. I don't think that any of us thought we would land Aimbridge, Highgate, Outrigger, Peachtree, KSL, Dimension Hospitality, and several other large accounts all in that first year. So it's been a very exciting growth journey, and really it's the most fun I've had. But there also are challenges, obviously, when you're scaling this quickly as a pretty small company. So when I joined, there were three of us on the team, and we were solving some pretty big challenges on the hospitality side. And it has been extremely fun. And now we've added to the team, and we have really strong people. And the key comes back to, we're hiring people who are extremely good at what they do, but they're also people that you would want to work with and want to deal with. So that's extremely important to us as we grow and scale.
So what were those brands telling you they were struggling with exactly? Like, what were some of the stories they were giving you?
Sure. So the all of the sales and catering systems are good at what they do. So they do a great job of managing the business that is coming in, and they each do, some better than others, but they each do a good job of reporting at the hotel level what's happening. So my pace, my productivity, sales managers. What becomes a lot more challenging with these mixed flag management companies is they'll have one system for their Marriott hotels, another system for their Hilton hotels, and then potentially another system for their independent hotels. So the challenge they had was they may have the right information, but it's siloed in different places. So when they really want to understand what's happening across their entire business, they don't have the lens in order to view that. With Amaze Insights, they're able to consolidate all of this information in a very clean format that they can see exactly what's happening. And we've also done it in such a way that there are all the charts, graphs, and details just to make it much easier to read and understand. So it's something that almost all of our demos go a very similar way, where people say, I've heard a lot about this and I just want to see what the buzz is. And then when they first see it, they're like, wait, this is all of the hotels, and this is from these different systems, and you have it this way. So typically they're spending hours, either weekly or monthly, where they're trying to pull this together. And it's very tough to get it into a format that's really easy to see and understand. Then we've also partnered with some of the best people in the industry. One example of that is Kimberly Furlong, the Chief Commercial Officer for Atrium Hospitality. They had taken on an initiative for function space utilization. So they really wanted to optimize what was happening on the function space side. So what we did is we had our data experts and teams spend really several months with Atrium to truly understand the issue, and then dig in and then visualize the information in a way that worked for Atrium. And as part of this, we also agreed that it would then become available to the rest of our customers as well. So that's made a really big impact for them as well as the rest of our customers.
Yeah. Well, how would you describe you're different? Yeah, I don't know if there's anybody else doing what you're doing, or again, the old way of doing it was everyone spending hours and hours trying to get
hours and hours in Excel was really what's happening. And there are some other great companies out there on the business intelligence side. Where we're different is we have an incredibly deep degree of domain expertise in this exact spot. So we have, just with the three of us on the senior leadership team, we have more than 75 years of history in solving these exact challenges. So we knew the challenges and the problems extremely well. So what we built is what people have been trying to solve and do for literally decades. So that is a big difference, is really the deep degree of understanding on what these chief commercial officers, heads of sales and marketing, SVPs, VPs, what all these people really need in order to do their jobs better. So I'd say that part is different. And then the other part where we really are different is we want to build this company in such a way that we are a joy to do business with, and really looking at, we're there to support our customers, and we're also willing to do things that are fun. So for instance, when we had a big meeting with the Aimbridge team, without telling them, we had an Elvis impersonator show up to finish off the end of the meeting. So we went extremely buttoned up and tight on all the data side. And then we finished the meeting with their top 100 SVPs and vice presidents, with Elvis impersonator coming in the room. And I have to say, their COO, Patrick Voles, who's a great guy and former Blackstone person, very, very buttoned up. Seeing him embrace that and sing in front of the room with the Elvis impersonator was something that I'll remember with a big smile on my face for really.
Yeah, man, you took a big risk with that one. That's funny.
We did, and we did run it by one person first on their side to say, now this is something that there's some companies I absolutely would not do it with. And with Aimbridge, obviously they're the largest hotel management company, but they they're also really great people.
Yeah.
So my gut was it would play, but I was like, we don't want to take what's a really great meeting and ruin it by doing something like that. So that's the other reason we were going to kick off the meeting with it. We decided to push it to the end so we could at least get through everything we needed to do and show them that, yes, we really know what we're doing. We take this very seriously, but at the end finish it with, but we don't take ourselves too seriously. And it did actually play and went well.
That's great. So what kind of results are your clients coming back to you with? Like, what are they experiencing?
Well, so what we've seen, and this is something else that we're extremely proud of, we had 100% of our customers renew, and we also have 100% of our customers are references for our product. So that's something we're looking at. We certainly didn't want to see any churn, and we didn't. So that is the key, is that we want to deliver significant value, that it's very easy for them to renew this. And so what we've seen really across the board, and I actually happened to be at an HSMAI event in Long Beach, and I was just kind of ear hustling and listening to what other people were saying. And this was not a plant. This wasn't something that was set up. I heard two women talking to each other, and they said, well, all that time I used to spend on Sunday nights generating the reports, I just have it now because I just log in. And as I was just kind of listening to it, and then I heard her say, because I just have it in Amaze. And I was like, are you talking about Amaze Insights? And she said, I am. And I had never met these people before. And I was like, well, I am Nick with Amaze. And we kind of laughed about it and went through. And it was a real conversation that was happening. And the big thing that they talked about was the way they used to do meetings is they would generate these static reports, and they would have to ask all of the directors of sales to pull the report and send it over. And then they would dig through and talk about it. And what they said is it shifted the meetings, because they would literally pull up the Amaze Insights platform during the meetings and then look at this and then be able to drill down and see a deeper view of the data. And what shifted isn't the data, because that was already what was happening. What shifted was, rather than going and trying to find the information, they were able to synthesize it, see what's happening, and then talk about the strategies and what they were going to do in order to make their teams more effective. So that's where it really helped them to become better at their jobs. But with something that Patrick Voles mentioned to me, and this I'm even prouder of, is after that meeting with the Elvis impersonator, there were people on the team, and this was right at the beginning of the rollout, who said, this is going to allow me to spend more time with my families on Sunday nights, and this when I get better. And what he said to us is, you're not just making their work lives better, you're actually making their lives better, which that's something that I think we can absolutely be proud of.
Love it. Changing lives. I love it.
Few
companies can really say that.
And that's also, going back to, it's also something in the early days of New Market that we talked about is, look, this is sales and catering software. We're not saving lives. This is not arms and legs. So
you are now
having that and understanding. Well, now maybe making them a little bit better.
You're saving families, Nick. You're saving
families. And again, it's important. It really is.
Yeah.
And it matters for people's careers and jobs and hotels, everything else, so that we do know, and it is extremely important. But like I said before, it's not something where we're nurses in the NICU that are going through, and that, which I have the utmost respect for the people that are doing that, where they are truly saving lives, where we are making hospitality better, which is something, again, very important to me and to our entire team. But we, again, don't overly take ourselves seriously.